get this, we had Todd Bowles on yesterday, the head football coach of the Bucs. And I'm going to tell you flat out, this segment is more anticipation about this segment than any other segment I do. And without further ado, we bring in one of the great people when it comes to putting content together for the Dallas Cowboys. He is Mark Holmes, and on the other end, we have, without a doubt, the man, the Cowboy Killer, as he likes to be dubbed, Philly.500. And here he is.
That's right. What's up?
Mr. Depressed and Mr. Happy.
Isn't it every week? The guy's sad. I'm happy. What are you going to do?
Mark, you look like you've got a migraine headache. Why?
I was happy this morning, about 11 o'clock. I was like, good. Dan did not send me a text message to join today. I figured I've got some peace. A week going before the Eagles, before the Christians versus the Lions, happens. But before we, dead man walking, that at least I can enjoy my last week. Now I realized what somebody was saying about being a gardener. Mark Holmes, the gardener. Because I'm here shoveling all of Jerry Jones's bullshit.
I mean, all right, Philly, how are you feeling good about all the moves that have been made and Howie Roseman saying there's still a lot of work to be done? I mean, you've made 5 different trades.
How about
prior to the settling of the 53? Now he's talking about adding more after the 53. I mean, I thought you guys were a stacked roster on defense.
Well,
if you're such a stacked roster, why is he still making roster moves?
Well, we're dealing with what? Depth pieces, like third-string depth pieces, third-string quarterbacks. I mean, we're dealing with depth pieces, not starters. But here's the thing. And this is the thing that I think people, who is?
Bennett. He's going to be a starter.
Hopefully. But here's the thing. This is why the Eagles are where they're at. This is why they win Super Bowls. This is why they go to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Because they have a GM who's willing to admit if something ain't going right or if something's not going wrong or up to the standard that they like. And he's not afraid to go and fix it. I have no issue with that. At least he's trying to fix it instead of saying, no, we're good with what we got. We're good. We believe in our moves. No, he's humble enough to say, you know what? Maybe Ringo's not working out how we anticipated. Let's get on top of it. I have no problem with that at all.
I've got to ask you, Mark. I've got to ask you, man. Do you believe that Micah Parsons runs through the tunnel September 4th?
I'll give you 1.3 million reasons why.
Really? That's what the fine would be.
No, that's how much he's actually going to get paid per game. See, here's what you got to look at. His first 4 years, it was $17 million. This year, well, actually, he's filing a grievance because he thought he was going in as a linebacker, getting 24, but they're saying defensive end, which would be 21. But basically, you're talking about $1.3 million per game. When you're looking at, say, $5 million like last year, that's a lot of money to be sitting on the sideline. And, the NFL owns your rights. If you don't play, well, we just have you for another year.
Plus, they can tag you, too.
Yeah, they can tag. But now, here's the thing. About tagging him, it would be stupid because then it's hard dollars. I see Philly.500 just kind of subtly gave a shot at me and the Dallas Cowboys about a GM that recognizes when they have problems.
No, I wasn't thinking about you at all.
Because we got Jerry Jones. We believe in our guys with Stephen Jones, Sileo's buddy there.
You sound like my wife now, you little bitch.
How about Philly? What do you make?
You're not getting none now, okay?
Philly, what do you make of all these problems going on in Dallas?
I wasn't even thinking about Dallas because they're so far away from my thought process. Okay, what do I think? I think Micah's getting traded. I think he's going to get traded.
Okay.
For what? Probably a bunch of stuff. I don't know. Listen, Micah in Dallas, this is bad. This is more than just business. This is now personal. You got a guy sleeping, during the games. You got
Eating
an owner.
burritos.
I mean, this
I
is
like
more
burritos
than
in
just.
Dallas, though. They're
This
good.
is more than just I didn't get my money. I didn't get my contract.
This
And
is whiny.
it's more than that. I don't know if he'll get traded. Honestly, I don't know, but I don't think this is good, and I don't think this thing is going to end anytime soon. And now we got all these rumors about Green Bay. I think where there's smoke, there's fire. I think something's going on. I don't know what though.
So Mark Holmes,
Uh-huh.
this guy that you love or like, this Brian Schottenheimer guy, doesn't he have any steel couillons that if somebody's disrespecting him on the sidelines or if somebody's doing stupid shit, no matter who it is, isn't that take your ass in? You don't have to fucking sit on the sidelines and be like that, man. I got 90 guys out here. I got to pick 53 guys to. And by the way, that's a Jerry Jones thing. Isn't this primary one of the examples of what's wrong with the Cowboys the last decade or so is because you don't have a coach with any couillons. Take your ass in there. I don't want to see that shit on the sidelines, man. I got a bunch of other guys I'm trying to set a fucking culture with. You never see that shit in Philly. You never see that shit. Okay? And if you do, you see a dude reading a book and he's got 1,500 yards every year.
Is there a question in here somewhere?
Yeah. Your guy has no balls.
Okay. All
You're
right.
trying to tell you like this guy. You told me you like this guy.
If you want to know what my gut feeling of what's going on here,
Please.
okay. My gut feeling is Jerry Jones recognizes that he is a $12.83 billion business without having to win shit. And he loves the media. And on the other side of this, you have Micah Parsons, who is part of the media too, whether we want to admit it or not. He's the president of Bleacher Report. And you put these two together, because here's what Jerry Jones recognizes. When you're talking about social media, and Jerry Jones is always the guy that's leading everything into the future, they recognize how social media is everything. And take a look. Everything is owned by Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones. You can take everything that's happened with the other 31 teams, combine it, and it still pales to the amount of talk that goes about the Cowboys. It's theater. We used to get watched because we were good and about winning. When you looked at the 90s team, now we're a car crash. We're a train wreck. That's what we are. And that's why people are watching. It's a soap opera. And Jerry Jones is the leader of the soap opera.
I want to go to you now, Philly. How do you take a look at that Gardner Johnson deal now? You got a guy in the practice. You got a guy in the practice squad, and now you got Makuba, who's wounded again. I don't know, what did he do? Hurt his hymen? Holy shit, this guy's always hurt. I mean, where the hell is this guy? And now you got a guy you're going to put in there, and Sidney Brown, who struggles in tackling. I mean, are you concerned now that you traded away the better safety? I mean, that looks like a tough cover there.
I didn't like. I said, I didn't like the move when they did it. I still don't like it now. It seems like one move too many. I really would like to know what really went on or what really happened, because there's no way that it had anything to do with salary cap or him as a player. So there was a bunch of other things, involved. But I will say I do worry about the safety position. I think Makuba could play if he could play, but can he play? Right, that's the question. And then today, you waived McCollum. So McCollum's now gone, and you have what? Sidney Brown and Reed Blankenship are your safeties?
Now, I would say this. Does that mean that
problem.
hey, how about this, Philly? Does that mean now they're going to sign or potentially bring in Justin Simmons since you waived that guy?
I hope not, but probably. I think it means they're going to bring somebody in. I expect another move for a safety. I think they're going to get another safety. I don't know if it's going to be Justin Simmons, but I definitely think they're looking for another safety. How you only have 3 safeties? You have to do something. I would think so.
Is your season already over? Before it even started, is your season over?
Done.
You know what, dude? I got to tell you, man, I feel like I'm a prosecutor and I'm talking to a guy who knows he got his hand caught in a cookie jar or he got caught doing something dumb. And I'm starting to have empathy for you here. I am. I can't believe it. And you know what? For the thing that I said years ago about you having, like, you're sitting in your mom's basement and you're doing this, I'm going to apologize for you because, dude, I didn't know that the beating that you take every fucking week in the media, not just here, but with you on when you post those things, you know what Philly is? Philly sends me text messages going, are you watching these videos?
Here's what I actually have to say is, I have to be kind of, in a way, thankful for Jerry Jones. I don't know what other YouTubers do with other teams. There is never a lack of shit to talk about with the Cowboys and a lack of people to come in and troll the fuck out. And, rule number one of social media is to get people to watch. And Lord knows they're watching this train crash.
Why, if you're Dak, why do you want to play in Dallas?
I got $60 million a year reason.
Okay.
I don't. That one is one I questioned myself before he signed this other contract. But in the case of, let's say, Micah Parsons too. If Micah Parsons went to Green Bay, do you think that people would care about his podcast as much?
No, they wouldn't give a shit about him.
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
He's the football player of Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
I just care about my brand and not really winning.
Well, from a football standpoint, Micah Parsons is a bigger threat on the Packers than he is on the Cowboys. Just being honest.
That's the youngest roster too in the league.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that would take Green Bay, I think, to another level. So I much rather him stay in Dallas, where I know he's not going to do anything, than go to Green Bay.
How about Micah Parsons to Washington?
It won't happen.
I don't think that would happen either.
It's not going to happen to Green Bay either, because Green Bay literally broke Jerry Jones. That would be the last team that he would.
You don't think Jerry Jones, in his arrogance, could be like, you know what? We don't need Micah Parsons. Screw Micah Parsons. We'll send him to the division and beat his ass every year, twice a year. Don't you think he's capable of something like that? Because I totally do.
No. This is Jerry Jones doing Jerry Jones things.
No.
It's not like Jerry Jones trades players left and right.
Wait.
He would rather have Micah Parsons there on the sidelines, giving him publicity, even if he ends up holding out, than he would to get these picks.
Watch this, Philly.
Oh, shit.
Did you watch? Have you seen any of that Netflix thing?
I refuse to watch it.
I watched half. I watched half, and it told me a lot, though. But it told me a lot, though, about the Cowboys.
Yeah, because get this. Mark, get this. And Philly, you follow up here. Get this. He's laying in bed with his wife, and he's looking up, and his wife is looking up at the ceiling, Mark. She's looking up, and he goes, okay, I give. What? And his wife looks over at him and goes, you can't fucking leave well enough alone, can you? They had just won 2 back-to-back Super Bowls, and they fired Jerry Jones, or fired Jimmy Johnson. And she goes like this, you just can't fucking leave well enough alone, can you? And he goes, I can't. I mean, that's what I learned about him. He can't leave well enough alone.
So let me sure I got this straight. So he's got a camera in his bedroom.
No. He's looking at, he looked over at her and he goes like this. She's looking up at the ceiling and he just goes like this. What? All right, I give. She's like, you just can't fucking leave well enough alone. And she was dead serious with him on that. And this is where I'm going. Philly, you tell me if you agree. Oh, Philly, wait a minute. Tell me a little bit about the Netflix. What'd you think of it?
Well, I only watched half, but the one thing that became clear to me watching it was that almost like the Eagles with Howie, when Dallas is successful, it's because Jerry Jones takes chances and he takes risks. He took risks in purchasing a team. Mm-hmm. He took risks in firing Landry. He took risks in trading Herschel Walker. When he does those things, that Dallas has been successful, kind of like Howie, and with him taking risks. Now, Jerry Jones, who they have today, doesn't take any risks. He doesn't take any risks at all. So he's a show of his former self. And As long as he continues to do that, Dallas is going to continue to lose.
I'll say this.
I want to say one thing real quick here, okay? That as a Cowboy fan, this is hard to really admit. The reality is the Dallas Cowboys got lucky as shit with the Herschel Walker trade, and they had a great coach and evaluator of talent in Jimmy Johnson. Without one or two of those things, Jerry Jones is not the $12.8 billion, net worth team. He was fortunate that he had Jimmy Johnson, and it was just basically everything lined up for that window. And that's what the Cowboys have been living off of for the last 30 years. And unfortunately, Jerry Jones is still living in there. In his mind, I can guarantee you he thinks, well, if Micah Parsons holds out the first two games, we're going to win the Super Bowl just like we did with Emmitt Smith. But you can't do business the same way. All of the dynamics have changed from back in the 90s.
I'll say this. How serious is Micah, though, in getting a new contract? Like, if you're really
you know
serious,
what? Micah knows the game. Micah
leave.
Did you hold it? Did you see? Let's be real. Did you see Micah's mom and Jerry Jones?
I did.
Okay. They know the deal. This is the game that Jerry Jones plays. Dak said it last year. I don't listen to Jerry Jones because we know he is P.T. Barnum. It's all a freaking show.
You know what? Hey, Philly, you know what this is going to do? Because they're going to get their asses kicked on September 4th. The storyline is going to be Jerry signing Micah. And that's going to supersede the game.
And it'll be like the night before.
No, it's going to be at 6 o'clock Thursday night.
Yeah, it's going to be some shit like the day before, the 23rd hour or something.
How many reps can he actually play? How many snaps can he actually play?
It's not going to be
It's about stealing your thunder, bro.
That's right. It's about stealing your thunder.
Hey, well, I'll take the W. I'll take the W.
No. And that's the difference from what he's saying right now. But don't you think, Mark, since the Cowboys, how many players away do you believe the Cowboys are from winning a Super Bowl? In your honest opinion, how far I'll tell you, and then you tell me, how far do you think they're away from winning a Super Bowl?
Interior defensive line, another cornerback, and a really good left tackle, and a running back. Okay. That's quite a bit, but
that's five. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
How far away do you think they are, Philly? That sound right? Corner, D tackle, stop the run, a good offensive lineman, interior, and a good back.
Corner, defensive tackle, maybe two defensive tackles, a running back. They need some offensive line help and a quarterback.
Oh,
and a QB. All right.
Okay.
Well, then doesn't this make sense, guys, to what Mark said? Mark, why not do this? Since Jerry Jones came into the NFL with a massive trade, one last hurrah on the way out. You send Parsons, like Philly said, you send him for 3 1s, 2s, a player, what have you.
And you
know what? He bows out. He bows out, passing the team to his son with all that equity, because get this, he's not going to accumulate wins, but he could accumulate draft picks.
Yeah, he could. But I'm sitting here looking at our draft picks of the last few years. Let's suppose it is that you draft another CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons, then great. But what if it ends up being that you get a Mozzie Smith and a Tyler Guyton with those picks? I can remember, I'm old enough to remember when New Orleans traded their whole draft to Washington they could draft Ricky Williams. And not a single player on there amounted to a hill of beans.
Or even if you want to go in there, RG3's deal when RG3 and now that, for the Rams and such again. So I don't know, man.
Look at the Eagles. They traded Carson Wentz. Look how many picks turned into all the players they got now.
Involved in that.
True.
It's a risk either way. But that's what Dallas used to do and be successful at, taking risks.
But Philly, he took risk. But Philly, he took risk when he had Jimmy.
Right. Well, and before,
Jimmy could make sure those risks were going to be more calculated. Brian Schottenheimer's not going to be the guy you're taking a risk with. I mean,
but even firing Jimmy was a risk. They hired maybe the dumbest coach sorry ever. In Barry Switzer, 4th and 1, I'll go for it twice. Yeah, no, I mean, he won a Super Bowl too.
He did.
You're not going to get any. Dallas, the way I see it with the Cowboys is they're in NFL purgatory. As long as they keep doing the same thing with the same collection of guys, nothing is going to change. So
I actually
hopefully,
I disagree with you on that.
Signs Parsons. Then you have 3-4 more years where they maybe playoff team. Maybe they go to the first round and lose.
I disagree with you. No,
They're 8 years away.
No. You know the difference between the Cowboys being one of those elite teams and not is the fact that they don't use the best tool that they can to top off their roster, and that is in free agency. Had the Cowboys spent $8 million a year last year to get Derrick Henry, you would be looking at this offense right now and saying that's a juggernaut. You honestly would. But I know that's the problem. Is you're looking at it and saying, well, with this collection of players, you got to start all over. Starting all over doesn't fix the problem. Until you start using free agency, you're even in worse shape. Because now you got to redraft all these guys that are good.
The only way I see Dallas winning or being a real competitor for the Super Bowl is it's going to have to be where they draft guys and they get picks, because they're not going to go out in free agency and spend the money. They're not going to do that. We already know that. So the only way they're going to do it is through the draft. And if they don't have picks and they're paying these top 3 guys all that money, I'm telling you right now, you're going to have 3-4 more years of losing. Then they're going to replace their quarterback, and it's going to be another 3-4 more years. They're 7-8 years away from competing. If they trade Parsons and get picks, they could cut that in half. That's what I think.
Yeah, no, and Mark, you exclude free agency and trades. Roseman uses trades and free agency
constantly, still using them.
Constantly in that room with that, along with drafting. He's a 3-track guy. Jerry's gotten away from free agency. Remember the free agents or the trades you made? Charles Haley, Deion Sanders. All of that shit was brought into your football.
It was literally like an assembly line of players just
coming through
here. Yeah.
You made a trade for Tony Casillas, right? You made trades for all that stuff. That stuff has all gone away, man.
Now we believe in our own guys.
Yeah, but to Philly's point, that's not enough. Howie even knows that. Howie made a trade for AJ.
We all know the problem here is we're dealing with an old-ass Jerry Jones who is about his money and not spending it, guys. Flat out.
I got to ask this. And then, Philly, I think you're old enough for this. So I'm going to ask you for this. Mark, you tell me, is this Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson thing, is it still a thing with Cowboy fans? Because that documentary is based on it. You know, who had the most credit for the Super Bowls? Who had the most credit for the Herschel Walker deal? You know, I ask a bunch of people. If I ask 25 people or 10 people in a room, I think 5 people don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. But
yes, we are dying out like World War II veterans.
Do Cowboy fans still care about that stuff?
It depends. You know, if you're talking about somebody like me, yes, an older person, yes, because you look at it and say, shit, we probably could have won 4 or 5 Super Bowls.
I agree. You would have won 4 more.
You know, because we definitely would have done better than with Barry Switzer. We won in spite of Barry Switzer, not because of Barry Switzer. But yeah, we look at this and say Jerry Jones has screwed the pooch, and look at the track record. You know, you don't have to. He's proved that.
It's the longest gap in Cowboy history. And by the way, so you know, Mark, I was there at the beginning, and I was in the building for all this, and I watched it. And I'm telling you, this is the biggest and largest gap of non-Super Bowl participating Cowboys since the beginning, when Tom Landry put the team in the Super Bowl and won it in 71, and he won it. Then he turned around, he won it in 78. Then that gap from 78 to Jimmy, now you look, it's 30 years. It's the longest gap. I mean, bro, you probably
are you trying to make it worse?
You lost 4. I tell you, with the 3 you won, you probably would have won 4 more. That Troy Aikman says you'd have been in the room for 4 more at least. And I agree with Michael Irvin. You may have won 5 in a row.
Thank
Just
God
when I thought I couldn't feel any worse.
Hey, 5 in a row because ego got in the way. And by the way,
still getting it on.
motherfucker, let me tell you something about that piece of shit. That guy is the same guy who accused Troy Aikman of being gay because he was dating one of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. And it was taboo. You couldn't date one of the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders at the time. And so here's the other one. Him saying that Tom Landry was forgetting names. Mark, the reason Tom Landry was fired was because he kept too many of the old guys.
Right.
Remember?
But remember now, this is how petty Jerry Jones is. Because I remember being there at the Pro Football Hall of Fame for Jimmy Johnson's induction. Here it is. It's Jimmy Johnson's moment. They've got the interview. We're right there in the field. And Jerry Jones says, we're going to put you into the Ring of Honor. You belong right up there. And then doesn't do it for a year and a half. And it's like, okay, that's great that you're going to put me in the Ring of Honor, but this is the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is my moment. But he had to steal that moment from Jimmy Johnson. So that's how petty he is. And that's what he's doing with the team right now. He gives no fucks about us Cowboy fans.
You want to hear petty? I'll give you petty on Philly's side here. So yesterday I'm watching a press conference. This guy Howie Roseman's hitting 800 right now. Somebody questions him on the corner position. Hey, did you learn a lesson about sorry, I don't know what you mean. Yeah, you do, dickhead. You know that you overvalued and overestimated Keely Ringo. He's like, we like our room. No, you don't. You signed a garbage can guy in Adoree Jackson. You made a trade for JAKIB Bennett, and you got him playing out there. You brought back Fred Johnson. This guy goes like this. Oh, I love my room. No, you don't. No, I mean, bro, he is so arrogant, man. Howie's arrogant, bro.
I love it.
I have a great Eagle fan. Okay, Leo Bridgewater. Now, Leo is a veteran. Okay, and he actually, if you smoke past the Dutchie, he's in a dispensary with a former NFL player and stuff.
Is that a marijuana dispensary?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, but they do this for veterans that actually work with NFL players too.
Okay.
But he swears that you guys are going to repeat as well as three-peat, and we have a standing bet and stuff. But I got actually some hope from an unlikely source that the Eagles aren't going to repeat. And that would be you, Dan.
Me.
And Angelo.
Good luck with that.
I have no way they're repeating. There's no way. There's no shot they're repeating.
I think did you say 10 wins or 11 wins?
I said 11.
11 wins.
What did you say? How many wins did you say we'd get last year?
I think I said 9.
5?
No, 9. That was Angelo. He said 5.
5.
I said 9.
Okay.
9.
So Philly, you're trying to say that's bullshit then, huh?
Well, no, I was right in 21, 22, 23, and they got me in 24, but
we got him. We got him in 24. Wait till 25.
I'll be right this year. You know what? When all these guys were telling me they were awesome at 10-1, I said, you're frauds. Everyone was kicking my ass for it, and I went, they're frauds.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. I'm waiting for the 30 for 30 on that one.
Okay, to be clear here, in 8 days from now, you're saying there is no chance in hell for the Cowboys. Am I correct on that?
Wait, ask him that.
Clock is right twice a day. A broken clock is right twice a day. I mean, there's always the hope, but it's not likely. Not likely. I mean,
so
you guys can't even concentrate on football. I'm dying to know what's going on in your locker room. I mean, Mark, you make how many videos a day on Micah and the situation? You don't even talk about football. I don't hear you talking about the battles going on at guard.
Wait. I got a real question for you, Philly.
You got Micah.
Philly.
Oh,
no,
Micah.
Hold on. A real question here.
Pay Micah's money, please.
Why is it people are always concerned with how many videos I do a day? I mean, is that like counting people's money? Because I was told don't be counting somebody else's money there.
It just stating fact. It's just stating a fact. Just
okay.
A fact, right? I wake up like 6:30 in the morning. I'm waking up. I thought my alarm's going off. No, it's Mark sent new video. Mark has a new video. Mark has a new video.
Mark,
hey, it's because of Cowboys. Every one of them something different.
Wait, hey, Mark.
It's always Micah or Dak.
Mark, how about this? So, CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens versus Adoree Jackson. Who you got?
You asking me or Philly?
Wait,
I'm
CeeDee
asking
Lamb
you.
versus who?
CeeDee
Cooper
Lamb
DeJean?
versus Adoree
CeeDee
Jackson.
Lamb versus Cooper DeJean.
Wait, over there at that corner spot. Who is George Pickens versus CeeDee Lamb and versus Adoree George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb versus Adoree Jackson and some dude named Benegatti Bennett.
Benegatti.
Okay. Who you got? Who
You
you
will
got
know
in that-
his name.
Who you
will
got
know
in
his
that
name.
one? Who you got in that one, Mark?
I'll take my guys on that one. The one thing I can say is Dak, after having major injuries, the 2 times he has come back and played outstanding. And here's something that's kind of interesting.
To the playoffs.
Wait. Let me give you some facts here. One thing that's interesting is when Dak Prescott plays against the Eagles in the 2020s, there's been 5 games. He's averaged 305 yards, I believe 98 passer rating,
Wow.
9.8 yards per pass, and 3 TDs, including 2 games in Philadelphia, one of which he had 5 TDs in a loss.
And this
And
isn't a playoff.
4-1.
That's why these stats are so useless.
We're talking about
9 and 5.
right now, bro.
Dak's 9 and 5 record.
I'm just saying, for the Cowboys to be successful,
useless.
unfortunately, the way Jerry
Useless
Jones
stats.
sets everything up, it's going to be win or die with Dak Prescott.
Okay.
Like you said,
they're
we're gonna
useless
score
stats.
35 points a game.
Okay. I'm
They're
going to
useless
ask you.
stats.
Okay. Then I'm going to ask Philly this. What is the stat line for Dak Prescott versus that suspect secondary of Phillies right now?
Well, let me ask you a question.
No. I'll ask you that same question.
No, because you got to keep it in context. The first 3 quarters or the final or all 4 quarters together? Because what I expect from Dak and what Dak's known for throughout the league is called garbage time stats, right? When the game is out of hand and the Eagles have their starters
4-1 against you guys there, bro.
When it's like 35, 34 to like 6, and the Eagles starters aren't playing anymore, and then Dak goes and throws 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, so Mark can do a video and tell us how good Dak was. He threw 2 touchdown passes. It's not really fair. First 3 quarters, Dak's getting shut down. Last quarter, he gets garbage time stats.
All right, let me get Mark. What's the numbers? Give me a projection on what you think. A stat line number for Dak Prescott versus this team, the Eagles on September 4th. I'll give you mine too.
I'm going to give you. I'm going to stick with his average: 305 yards, 3 TDs, 9.5 yards per completion. We're going to have to throw the football there, bro. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We're going to have to throw the football.
I'll tell you what I think. Watch this. I'll tell you what I think. Ready?
Here we go.
I think he's going to go 21 of 32 for 365 and 3 touchdowns.
Damn. Oh, shit.
He does that shit during the regular season versus the Eagles all the time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that much because they're not gonna have a running game.
Give me a number. What do you think?
No, but here's the thing, though. Even if we had a running game, we're going to go for your weakness. Your secondary is weak.
Okay. The secondary's not.
You have to attack the secondary.
Don't buy into all that.
Why would I run into
because
when your middle of your defense?
Makuba's hurt again.
When we talk about secondary, you got to remember they're talking about depth pieces a lot of times. Only one position we're talking about not started. You got Quinyon Mitchell is a very good cornerback. Cooper DeJean is a top-notch cornerback. No, that matters when they're on the field.
Right.
In the
other positions where you have.
And secondly, you have
Sidney
no
Brown
offensive line.
Sidney Brown.
They have no running game, no offensive line. Do you want statistics? I'll say
that's why they have to throw, though, Philly.
I understand it, but also this, Sills. When a team is one-dimensional, especially in the NFL, I don't care who it is, and the team isn't concerned about the run game at all, it's a lot harder to pass. You also throw more interceptions, or you have to check down more. You don't get as many yards because you're one-dimensional. I don't think there's a threat of the run game. I think Dallas comes in one-dimensional. So I'll say Dak probably throws for maybe 240 yards, maybe 15 to 30, maybe a touchdown, maybe 2 touchdowns. He probably gets a garbage touchdown or 2 in the fourth quarter, and an interception or 2. That's what I think will happen.
The one thing in Cowboys' favor is there's not a book out on what they're going to do. And they have showed absolutely positively nothing. So you don't know
There's
what
2 ways to look at that, though, because they haven't played in the preseason at all. None of your starters on a new offense with a new coach. So it could work
It's not
both ways.
exactly a new coach because he was there before.
Well, then not
so,
exactly. There's nothing on them.
But now he can put his spin onto this. Now, the thing about Brian Schottenheimer that you guys don't seem to understand is he's led the league as far as rushing. And take a look at Seattle.
Who's a rusher?
Hey, hold on. Take a look at Seattle when he was the offensive coordinator. That was when Russell Wilson was cooking, where he was getting like 35, 38, and I think 40 TD passes a year.
Was Marshawn Lynch on that team?
No, that was after Marshawn.
All right.
Well, who was the running back?
They've had some.
That Carson guy.
They've had some decent running backs on their team. They've had they had teams where they've had 2-3 good running backs. Seattle.
But we'll see. I'm just happy that we can be on the field with the Super Bowl champions.
Oh my God! Shut the hell up!
See what I'm saying?
Seriously. At least we'll get some publicity being there on opening night. I'm just happy that we'll be seen.
Philly, give me a number for Barkley in the opener.
Barkley's going to go. I'm going to say 20 carries, 205 yards.
Damn.
How much? 200 what?
205 yards.
205 yards. Damn.
One of the first 5 carries is going to break a 40, 50-yarder.
I got 28 carries, 185.
That's not bad. It's close.
I'm hoping we can hold them under 150.
Man.
See, I think this game's going to come out. I think you're going to see both teams struggle early in the first quarter. I think they're both going to struggle. And then I think the Eagles go up-tempo. They start running Barkley. He breaks one. Game's over. Fourth quarter, Dallas is down a lot. Then Dak Prescott gets his garbage yards and touchdowns. And then Mark goes and says, well, Dak didn't play bad. He had 2 touchdowns.
Mark, listen, Mark. I want you to do me a favor because get this. Next Wednesday, I want you to commit here because you know why next Wednesday is? That's the eve of kickoff for the game. Philly, do I got you? It's the
dead
eve.
Man walking.
I got you.
I
got you.
It's the eve before the night when the banner falls.
My banner should be here for my new banner. I have to put on my wall. So we'll be ready to go.
Oh, man, now why would you do that to poor Mark, man? I mean, Mark's got them old school like genie carpets from back in the day when they won in the 90s back then. They got it from the old Cracker Barrel, from what I understand. Since they changed the logo, I heard they threw some of the Cowboy shit out.
I mean, let's face it, though. I mean, the Cowboys are the Browns. Like, what's the difference? Not much of a difference, really.
Hey, Mark,
the Dallas Browns.
Come on. Yeah, man, you're very angry.
I'll tell you what, if Parsons did get traded, one of the most anticipated videos of the year on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, I watched this thing too.
I want to see that. Like, I dream of the day Dak leaves with no championship.
I'll tell you what, though,
and
Philly,
has to go, and Mark has to do a video on it.
There's one other video. If they win next Thursday.
Oh.
I'm going to have to watch that video with this guy here, man, because this guy will break internet records with his
what? If the Cowboys win, I might just go ahead and get me a plane ticket. Come out to California.
Are you
and
kidding, Mark?
Philly.500 and park my
not on that tour. I will not answer that.
And I'll be out there with a cigar.
I'll go get a couple of German
Cuban cigars there, buddy, on your front lawn.
Oh my God!
You come, I'll smoke a cigar with you. Then I'll choke
and
you.
Then you call the cops. Get him out of here.
Let me tell you something. It ain't happening.
Look at
but
Philly.
You know what? But listen, if the Eagles were to lose, right? If they were to lose this game, do you realize Mark's whole season's over? Like, he won his Super Bowl. That's it. He can lose the rest of his games, and he's going to be happy.
I'm going to go like this on this one here, Mark. I'm going to say this. The Eagles don't need to win or lose.
No, it's the first game of the year.
You need to win this to set up your season, because then you know what you have on the flip side. You're going to be the Kings of New York again, right? You're going to win the Jets and the Giant games. So you're going to be the camp. By the way, I wouldn't go to sleep on that Giant team. That front
defense
seven,
they're going to be
tough.
good.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
That defense is good.
But I will say the Eagles might be lucking out, of course, because Micah Parsons, even if he plays, is not going to be 100%. And then you got Rice is going to be suspended for 6 games.
Oh, for
Yeah, he's
Kansas
not-
City.
Yeah, but Kansas City doesn't use wideouts, Mark. They don't
No.
really. I
Yeah.
mean,
Thing-
Rasheed
thing
Rice, who the fuck is that?
Micah doesn't have big games against the Eagles, anyways. It's not like he has a lot of big
Oh
games.
my
against-
God! Here comes a new one.
No,
Hey,
I'm
guys.
not kidding you. He doesn't have that many. Like, he doesn't have that great game. Lane Johnson usually
Okay.
shuts him down.
Wait, I
Because
got
he got
one.
like 2 sacks in 5 games versus the Eagles, something like
I
that.
got one last one for you, Mark. Is there anything that's making you excited about the Eagles, or excuse me, the Cowboy season? Anything?
Dak Prescott.
I was excited about the season there. I thought that the Cowboys were actually evolving into being a legitimate NFL team. But I think Jerry Jones looked at it and said, fuck, I'm sitting here being quiet, not doing anything, and ain't nobody talking about me. It's time for me to fuck this shit up and get everybody talking again. Because it seems like he's come back on steroids.
You know, he's got the inhaler going overtime right now. There's no doubt about it. Guys, you guys are awesome. Next week,
Thank
get this.
you.
Next week, this time, is the eve of the National Football League season starting, and the Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles will be one of the most anticipated games, will be one of the highest rated games.
Oh,
We'll have Micah Parsons drama. We'll have the banner falling. That's going to be a
Dak
big
Prescott
night, man.
falling too.
Prescott.
Jordan Davis crushes Dak Prescott. Fumble. It's
Yeah.
going to be great. That's
Guys,
my Merrill impression.
I love you guys very much. Thank you so much. And Mark, cheer up.
Smile,
You're a
Mark.
Cowboy. Well,
Dak's almost a Packer. I mean, Micah's almost a Packer.
I'll see you guys later, man. Holy shit. Oh, my God. That's fabulous. Fabulous. I give Mark so much love, man. I do. The Cowboy Killer. That's what he's got on his deal here. You don't realize, though, these two dudes are boys. Okay? I mean, believe it or not, they're like fighting brothers. If you've ever seen these two, they're like fighting brothers. Right now, I just saw Mark Holmes in the background. He just got out a whiskey sour and started gunning it. All right, guys, let me pay some bills here. Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in the entire world. And the reason they are is because they defend families like yours, and they make sure that you are not mistreated by any company whatsoever when they come in and you have a claim. No way. They make sure your family is protected with their thousands of attorneys from coast to coast, making sure your family's safe. Do me a favor. Log on forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. Greatest decision you'll ever make. That's for the people, FOR, thepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.